Hello and welcome along. Today I want to do something about this. What my plan is I'm going to cut a piece of tongue and groove to the same width of this bit here, hopefully to stretch the whole length along here. It's curving inwards here, that's never easy. But what I'm going to do first is stick some of this carpet stuff on, probably going to need a bigger bit. To cover the foil vapor barrier so that it looks pretty from underneath when you come inside. So I fitted my carpet round this door frame area, as you can see, and then down next to the door here. So that makes it all look nice and neat. The next bit for me to do is where this ends here, I need to cut a piece of cladding that will reach and cover over here. Meow. But that corner's going to be complicated because it's got bendy walls. So I cut this piece of wood. This end was a bit awkward because I had to cut it and then sort of get it to fix in there, fixed in with the self-tapping screws, and then once they'd gone in I took them out and put some countersunk screws in and they have held fine. Then I have claddered up this piece here, which has taken me all afternoon today. As you see, lots of clamps because this end backs onto the divider and the sliding bit, so I couldn't put screws through that bit, so I've glued this end and a clamp on each one, and then there's a screw in this end of each one. So that is going to be drying overnight. So there's these couple of planks on here as well, because this is where the backrest of the seat cushion will come up to. So I thought I'd do this because it will just make this look a lot more uniform. And I do have a mirror which is going to go on here somewhere like that. So that would be nice. I'll be able to look at myself. Well, I've run out of wood again. Hopefully you can see me and hear me because I've got the door open. It's very hot and my photography light broke, so I'm mending it. I'm just filling this gap in now between here, and what I have done, I've got a piece of this 15 by 15 mil timber which I have screwed onto the very edge of this last roof panel cladding, and then what I'm doing with the cladding for the next bit is I've fixed a little chock of wood onto the back so that will overhang the top here, and then I have to get it right in place. I'm having to do it in different parts because where the wall flexes slightly, it doesn't stay true in line. So I get that to there, then I have to see how much space I've got for my screws. I've not got all my bits here anyway, so I can't do it live, but I just work out where the screw's going to go, then I put a screw through there and just carry on along the top, and then that finishes it off, and it leaves a little channel here for my LED lighting strip. This is just an offcut at the minute, but the strip then lies on the top of here like so, so you can't see the strip, However, when it's all wired up and you turn it on, it will give a nice glow on the ceiling. So I'm very excited about that, to have it all done. But I'm currently waiting for another roll of the stuff because I've only got enough to do under the kitchen counter and one side, and I'm just waiting for a roll of the RGB 50/50 60 LEDs per 1 metre. So I'm waiting for that to arrive, hopefully this week, and I should be able to get this bit finished and the rest of the LEDs done. And then I'll be really pleased, although I've still got to sort around the back doors out. But I'm kind of leaving that until I get around to fitting solar, because it's going to have to come in that way, and I don't want to have to undo my work to put it back afterwards. So I'll get back to you when this is finished. Bit noisy again. So I've got this fitted all the way along to the back of the van, fitted the LED strip on that side, and I have just got my new delivery, which is here, and I have chopped it up. I've cut my piece, which will go up here. I have soldered the wires. Rather than having to join together these cables with a connector block or the little spadey things, the easiest thing I've found to do is if I twist the wires together and then get the soldering iron and just solder the connections together, because then they are very small and I can wrap them up easily with some tape, or you can use that heat shrink stuff, but I don't have any. So I have got some insulation tape which I will put around the connections afterwards. Now this piece wasn't too difficult, but when I come to trying the actual LED strip, that was really difficult. Luckily my brother had a fine tip soldering iron that I was able to borrow, which meant that I could do it, because this one was just a bit big and clumsy. So I've soldered a red to the red, green to the green, a blue to the blue, and a black to the black. So now I'm able to extend the cable and not just plug it straight into the controller. All my cables come through to the back of the van here, and I've soldered each set of wires from each strip. So there's, I don't know which one's which, but there's one for the kitchen counter, one for the driver's side of the van, one for the driver's side recess, one for the passenger side at the top, one for the passenger side recess, and then the other one is the power cable. No, it's not the power cable, it's the cable that goes to the controller, and then there's a cable from the controller which goes to the power, which is fed into here. And I've got a switch for the LED lights next to the door with all my other light switches. Fitted here, all the way along that side, all the way this side, and there's some under the kitchen cabinet as well that matches this colour. So when I've got my mood lighting on, the underside of the kitchen cupboard will light up in the same colour. I am waiting for some white LED light to go under there for being a work light, but as of yet it's not come. So I've got my LED strip fitted. Right from the beginning I'd wanted to have LED lighting under here, but wasn't quite sure how I was going to do it. What I did in the end was the top little plank here and on the other side. I took those out and then I have replaced it with a long piece which I have let sort of come down here by just over an inch or so. So I had to cut out a oblong section. I used a hole saw on each end and then joined it up with the jigsaw, which allowed me to stick my LED strip onto the back of it, so it lights down those little recesses without you seeing the LED strip, which is what I didn't want to happen. I did send off for a sound activated LED controller. However, when I fitted it, it was getting very, very hot. And the other one, you get, as standard, you get like a white one, but this black one comes as the sound activated one. And the white one doesn't get hot at all. This black one was getting really hot, and for some reason the blue circuit stopped working. Don't know why. So I was only getting the red and the green and the combinations of what they could do, but nothing that involved blue. So I took this out and put the other one back in, and the blue wouldn't work on that now, and the controller wouldn't work either, which was really annoying. So I was faffing around all afternoon and I had a look at some stuff on YouTube. Eventually this started working again. However, I mean, here we go, red, green, blue, white. However, when it started working again, all the colour buttons were out of sync. So when you pressed red, you would get green. When you pressed green, you would get blue. And when you pressed blue, you would get red, which was quite irritating. I did find a video on YouTube where you have to use one of the fade buttons to reset it, and you just keep doing it until it resets, until you get the right colour allocated to the right button. Fortunately, you only have to do the first button, and then all the other buttons follow on in sequence once you've done that. So that was good. I have also found a way of cladding down the corner pillars, which is good, although I can't do the one across on the other side yet, because that corner is where I'm going to have to put the solar down from the ceiling. So for now, that one will have to stay unclad. I might try and feed down a piece of conduit for the cables and then clad as much as I can that's not going to hinder me when I come to fit my solar. Whilst I was waiting for various bits to be delivered, I have finished cladding this door. So where I'd got the plywood surround, I have now cladded that over with the tongue and groove cladding like the rest of the van, and I've done this top part as well. Let me lift you up. So this part has also been done. So now the whole of the door is finished. I can get my curtains back up. Just waiting for my tiles for that side, which is really annoying. Although Amazon have given me a refund because it's been 2 months and still nothing from the supplier over in China. Well, I'll call it a day there. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that it's been informative. If you have got any questions, do stick them in the comments box down at the bottom. It would be brilliant if you would give me a like, and if you could subscribe to my channel, as it is growing slowly. So please subscribe, and there'll be a button somewhere over here to do that.